Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and in this one I am off to Linear Fisheries. That's right, the famous Linear Fisheries. I've got 24 hours. I'm working nights this week. I'm off tonight, and the last time I did this on a night shift, I went out for 24 hours. I went on to B1 after the Parker Bait Social, and I caught my PB Common and my PB Mirror, which I'll put on screen now. Super good 24-hour session. This time we're going to jump onto B2 if we can. Everywhere's fishing hard. It's still March, so it's still, just despite the sun, it is still chilly. Everywhere up and down the country is fishing quite tough at the moment. B2 seems to be doing a few fish. So like I say, I'm going out for 24 hours, just trying to nick one fish. I've got my zigs, I've got my solid bags. And yeah, I've just made a quick pit stop to Greg's. Got myself a sausage roll, of course. Be a cardinal sin if I didn't. And a sausage, bean and cheese melt. That's for the road. Let's head up to Linear. Come on. Right, well, I am here now at Linear. I'm currently looking out at B2, and there's some swims that are really good looking. It's not very busy. It's Thursday, about midday on a Thursday. The issue is, the swims that I can get on a B2 are closed from 9 AM tomorrow morning. So I either stick it out on here till maybe start packing away at 7 o'clock tomorrow and do the night in one of these swims, or I set up on one of the other lakes. I think there's space on B1. Didn't really want to fish B1, but do I really want to be packing my gear away at 7 o'clock in the morning? Got a dilemma. Right, well, it turns out that Brasenose 1 is actually closed from 9 AM tomorrow as well, the whole lake. So I guess that's why their swim's free. People don't want to jump in them because they're only going to have to move in the morning. I am now on B2. I'm looking at swims. I think they're 20 and 21, tucked away around the back. Not favourable this time of year, but I'm just walking between the two, seeing if I can see any signs of fish moving. I mean, I could jump in here, but the problem is with jumping in here is, well, it's like any swim, isn't it, I suppose. You jump in the swim and there's no fish here, then you ain't going to catch anything, but at least these swims are free, and I could do a whole 24 in either of these two. Right, well, I was just speaking to somebody who's fishing down towards the bowl in B2, down towards the causeway between B1 and B2, and they said they've not had any fish out of there, or they've not seen any fish come out of there for the last couple of days. But apparently somebody yesterday was down the shallow end and he had it off. Apparently all the fish have moved down there. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to jump in this peg 21, to be honest. It is warming up, the sun is coming out. The wind is blowing down. Like I said, it's not really a hot sun, but if the fish are going to move, hopefully it's going to be today, or if they've already moved, they might be down there. I'm tempted to jump in a 21. On the Parker Bait Social, it is marked as peg 20. There's no peg markers in here, but I've looked on the sticky map as well, because they map out lakes as well, and there's a hot spot apparently in front of me in this swim. So I'm going to chuck a lead out there, feel around, see if I can find any hard spots. I was planning on, obviously, solid bag and zigs. With the weather like this, it would be silly not to go on zigs. It is perfect zig weather. Look at it. The only thing is, it is still very much a gamble, this swim, because where you're tucked away, if the fish aren't up here, you're just not going to catch. However, it's got potential to be an amazing session, because if the fish are in here, then I should have a few, but I don't know. It's the first time I've fished this lake. I need to just get a marker lead out, just start leading around, seeing if I can find any hard spots. Keep my eyes locked on the water, because as soon as I see any fish moving, yeah, I'm going to get on it. And also, I'm just going to take a quick walk down my right-hand margin, because I've got a really long margin, and it looks like there's a bit of a path there. People have walked down there. So I'm going to head down there now and see if I can see anything, just sort of in the shallows. Right, well, I've just flicked a solid bag out to the right hand margin. It wasn't as tight as I wanted to get it, because it's a real tricky cast. There's about 10 leads up in that tree where people have tried to get it in tight. Needs a baiting pole really, which I have got, but I didn't think I'd be needing it, to be honest. I should leave it in the van for future reference, but even then it's blowing across here quite. It'd be tricky with a pole as well, because it's really ripping across here. the wind. But yeah, I've got a solid bag out. It is a Parker Baits OG Fish Original Wafter with the with the mini mix pellet, the Parker Baits mini mix pellet. There are crays in here, and I'm well aware of that. So I've put that out there for a couple of hours. I'm going to set the 2 zig rods up. I'm going to fish a 5-foot zig and a 6-foot zig out towards the middle, not too far apart from each other. So now I've got the solid bag down the right in the margin, the 2 zigs out in the middle. That's the way we're going to approach this session. But at least I've got a rod out and I'm fishing. Happy days. Okay, middle rod is out on a 5-foot zig. It's a black and yellow, like a black and yellow, I'll show you actually. Black and yellow foam with a black liner. And before I chucked it out, I soaked it in some of the Parker Baits flat spot. Obviously guys, 10% off if you've not used Parker Baits before. 10% off with code SCA at checkout. If you've never used them and you want to try it out, go and save yourself some money. But yeah, that's 2 rods out now. I was going to put a 6-foot zig next to the 5-foot zig, but it's only at 8.5 wraps. On the sticky map, it's hard to see where they're saying the hotspot is. They've not given any yards on it or anything like that. And obviously completely new to the lake, never fished it before, I'm not really sure. At 8.5 wraps there was a gravel spot. Even though I'm fishing a zig, I still want to make sure that my lead and my leg clip land on a flat and clear spot so that it presents my zig properly and nicely. So yeah, 5-foot zig, left arm rod. I'm gonna start chucking a lead out again, and just try and feel for maybe a bit further than 8.5 wraps. I'm gonna chuck at maybe 15 wraps and draw it back in until I find a spot that I'm really happy with. But yeah, and then once that's out, we can check the solid bag. We'll give it another hour or so, the solid bag. If it has been hammered by crays, I've got plastics, I can put on a bit of plastic corn. But yeah, there we go. I'm feeling positive. Oh, there's a pike angler so there's this swim here and the swim next to me. The swim next to me is empty, it's free. But between me and the swim next to me, there's a load of rushes, bulrushes in the margins. And the pike angler, he's just gone straight in there. I don't know where he's gone. I mean, he's not bothering me, so I'm just letting him crack on, but yeah, he's not casting over my spot. He's not interfering with me at all, so yeah, crack on. That didn't last very long. I don't know if you heard that, but the bailiff came over and said, "Can't fish there, buddy." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm pike fishing." He's like, "Yeah, but you can't do it though." I better shut up because he's coming this way. But yeah, he got turfed out. But there we are. All 3 rods are out now fishing. We've got the left hand rod on a 6-foot zig, 12.5 rod lengths out towards that thick bushy tree. I don't know if you can see the thick one in the middle there. Don't know if it's focusing. There's like a thicker one there. Then I've got the middle one, 8.5 wraps out towards that middle tree, which is that one there. And obviously that solid bag down that margin, which is a really hard cast because when you cast it, not only have you got all the legs up there that people have lost, it's ridiculous. But also when you cast it, the slack of the line, you have to keep the line tight, because even if you cast it, the slack of the line basically blows it into the trees, so it can land perfectly in the water, but all your lines then just draping across all the trees, which is not good. So yeah, you either need to just keep the line as tight as possible, or just cast away from the trees a bit. That's going to be tricky at night. But there we go. It's nice to be back out on the water, big open water as well. Look, not like the doorstep lake, this is proper fishing. But I must say, I am struggling up the doorstep lake recently, but I will get back down there and do some sessions. I did speak to the bailiff, because the bailiff just come round and took my money, and he said that it's dropping down to, well, it's actually, the first mild night we've had for a long time. It's only dropping down to 9 degrees tonight. Now, my last session at Limbrook, it was like -2. So, yeah, I'm really trying to keep positive. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know what to expect. But yeah, come on the carp. Yeah, here's a couple I made earlier. I've got a couple of solid bags made up. Got fruit and nut magic dust in there, like I say with the Parker Baits mini mix. That's an old one, so I don't know what's in that, but I've just made this one up. Yellow plastic corn, I don't know if you can see that in the side there. Bit of fake plastic corn on the lock hook, but yeah, it got a little avid stem on there as well, look. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll pierce that before I send it out, and then inject the old flat spot in there. I might do that, well, I'm going to do that within the next hour, because I'm not sure how the crays are getting. I think it's quite rife in B2 with crays, to be honest. But look at this weather, absolutely stunning. If the fish follow this wind, I should have a few tonight. So I got the rods out at about just gone 1 o'clock, and it's now just gone 4:30. So they've been out for a few hours, not long at all. But just for ease of mind, I wanted to reel in that solid bag just to make sure there's no crayfish that have taken the bait off. I reeled it back in, and it turns out it was good as new. But I have redone that solid bag. I'm using a plastic bit of floating fake corn now, so that's just going to pop up just above the pellet, which should be nice. It's a good presentation. It's down. It took me a couple of goes. I cast it out and I wasn't happy with it. Cast it again. I ended up casting into the tree, got everything back, but I did have to tie a third bag, so it was a bit of a pain in the backside getting out, but it's out. I'm happy with it. I hit the clip, 11.5 wraps along that margin. Sorry, I got a cough. I think I'm just going to leave the zigs on. Zigs can be just as effective at night as they can during the day. My PB was on the zig, and that was very early hours of the morning. So, yeah. Or should I move on onto a solid bag? I'm still women and ahhing, to be honest. I think I'm going to leave both the zigs on. I actually pushed them out as well. The middle one's now at 12.5 wraps. The left one's now at 15 wraps. So, you know, we're pushing out a little bit further. It's not a clearer gravel patch as I was fishing on before, because I did check out the marker leg just to make sure that I was fishing on some clean spots. I'm still getting a donk. I'm still feeling the lead down, it's going crack. But as I'm dragging it back, it's not like a tink, 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 tink. It is, but it's more of like a tink, tink, rough, rough, tink, tink, rough, rough, tink. And I'm thinking there's maybe a little bit of, I don't know if it's like low-lying, like weed or something, I don't know. But I feel confident enough that the zigs are still going to be decently presented. That's what I've done. Like I say, it's just gone 4:30. I think I might leave them all out now. I've got no reason to change them. I'm happy with them. They are where I want them. The sun is just going down. Well, I say just going down. In the next sort of 2 or 3 hours, it'll be down. But it's moving down towards the trees behind me. It's actually quite beautiful. You can see the sun on my face. But there we go. I'm going to stop waffling now. I will give you a quick update before I go to bed. If I haven't caught anything, that is, by the way. And then we'll see how the night goes. Wow, quick update. I'm just sat here and something's not sitting right with me. I feel like I need to get another solid bag on. Since I've been here, I've not seen one fish show, which suggests that the fish might not be in the upper layers of the water. They might be down. I've had the 2 zigs out for several hours. I've not had a sniff on them. Obviously, I know I've had the solid bag out and not had a sniff on that as well, but that is in the right-hand margin. It's less likely that fish have found that. You know, there's more chance of fish seeing my zig than seeing that solid bag, just because of the location of where they are in the lake. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my right hand rod 11.5 wraps down to the margin. I think I'm going to reel in my left hand rod, which is on the 6-foot zig. I'm going to put the solid bag on that. I'm then going to take my middle rod, move it to my left hand spot, and I'm gonna fish the zig at 12.5 wraps and the solid bag at 15 wraps. I think that just makes the most sense. The guys opposite me to the left are having a bit of a social over there. Got a fire going on. You can't quite see that on the camera, but they got a fire going on there, and it reminds me of my last fishing session up Limbrook with Callum and Liam. But yeah, I can't sit in this bivvy confidently with the way my rods are right now. So let's change the rods about. Let's get another solid bag on. Again, it's going to be mini mix, OG fruit and nut magic dust, and a yellow bit of fake corn, because at least that gives me confidence that, you know, even though the crays are in here, and I'm not saying they won't eat the plastic baits, because they can eat the plastic baits, but they're less likely to, let's face it. But yeah, what a lovely evening. I must say just how happy I am with those rods that I've just moved. I wanted the middle line to be a longer line, so I wanted to fish the 15 wrap one in the middle and the 12.5 wrap one on the left, because if it gets picked up and it runs left, it's going to run past my left hand rods, which is going to give me more room to play in. And not only that, but I didn't want to fish my left hand line at 15 wraps and then my middle line at 12.5, because if there's fish coming in for the middle, they might see the line. It just, in my head, it makes sense to just have the longer one in the middle and the shorter ones shorter. But that just means my right hand rod against that margin, that's really penned in, that one. So I'm hoping that the fish sort of come up. They're either in the margins and they're going to come out, or they're coming in from behind. So steady. Well, there she is, the Frontier. I was gonna, actually Callum was saying that he was gonna sell his one, which is the X, and I was gonna have it off him, but I must say, I'm very glad I've kept this one. I love this bivvy. Oh, that's the zig that I've just put out. But yeah, I love this bivvy. I've had it a while now, and I'm not going to change it until I need to, if it breaks or starts leaking or whatever. Touch wood, it doesn't. But yeah, Fox Frontier, standard. I say standard, it is like the limited edition camo, but it's like, oh wow, look at that. Wow, that's a thumbnail picture if ever I've seen it. Look at that, stunning. Not me, of you. Well, good morning. Very, very quiet night. Honestly, nothing to talk about. I didn't hear any fish. I didn't see any fish. I didn't hear anyone's alarms. It's just been so dead. It's been a ghost town. I don't think anyone's catching. The lake is just, it's like it's shut down completely. It's just birds. That's all it is. There's no sign of any fish anywhere. Yeah, I kept the bags out last night. 2 bags, 1 zig, and just nothing to report. It is still not that warm though. I mean, it was a more mild night than it has been. Let's say it dropped down to about 8 degrees. But The water's still cold. And genuinely, when I came here, I thought maybe I'd be able to nick a fish. I'd have been happy with a fish. I mean, there's still time. It's about 7 o'clock now. I need to get a couple more hours sleep because I'm actually going to work tonight. And if I don't get any sleep before I go to work, I'm going to be awake for 24 hours, just over 24 hours. So yeah, I need to try and get a couple more hours kip. I'm going to be off at 1 o'clock, as in I'm going to leave at 1. So I'm going to start packing away about 11:30. Slow pack down, get things in the van, and then get home and chill before work. So I might be able to get a couple of hours when I get home, but yeah, I'm just going to leave the rods. I mean, I'm happy with them. Plastic baits on both, so I know they're fishing. They're both in the spots that I want them. I wouldn't change where they are at for anything. The zig, again, no reason to change the zig. I'm going to leave it where it is. I don't need to touch any of the rods. I'm happy with them. I just don't know if it's going to happen. I really hope it will. I mean, listen, there's still time, and I really hope it does. But it's just dead. But I'm not complaining, because being out, look at it. It's such a stunning place. I love it. There's definitely worse places I could be. Right, so it's about 10 minutes to 9. I haven't actually been able to get to sleep. But it doesn't matter, it's fine. But yeah, I just sort of want to reflect on this session a little bit and sort of think, could I have done anything differently? Now, I want to start leaving my fishing trips thinking to myself, have I done everything that I wanted to, or should I have done anything different? And when I look back at this session, being at this area of the lake isn't where I wanted to be, but with B1 being closed and half of B2 being closed from this morning, it kind of forced my hand. However, I could have, and it does sort of beg the, it sort of asks the question, should I have maybe set up in one of the swims that was going to be closed today and just chuck the rods out for 4 or 5 hours? Could that have got me a bite? Possibly. Maybe I should have. I definitely could have, but it is what it is. I didn't. So in terms of, I need to forget about that, but in terms of looking at this swim and me setting up in this swim, fishing 24 hours in this swim, would I have done anything differently? And I don't think I would have. I've tried zigs, I've tried them shorter, I've tried them slightly longer, I've tried a margin, I've tried the hotspot, I've tried bags. There's not really much I would change. The only thing maybe I would have done is possibly pushed one out at 20 wraps, which I could have done, but there's no signs here telling me to do that. I've not seen a fish move. I've not seen anything breach the water. I've not seen anything jump. I've not seen anybody else catching any fish. And from what I heard from one of the other guys that's been up here for the last couple of days, nothing much is coming out of the bowl, the odd one or two. So maybe it's just a lake just being a bit moody still because it's quite cold. It's still winter. Maybe it's me making excuses. Who knows? But that is fishing. Yeah, I'm definitely going through a bit of a tough time in my fishing at the moment. It's just happens to be such a good thing that I caught a couple of fish on Little Haze, because if I didn't do that trip on my birthday, I would be in an absolute mental run of blanks. This is the worst sort of period in my carp fishing that I've had to date, just with the lack of action. But it is what it is, It's still, like I said, I don't want to be too sort of like down in the dumps about it. And the way I want to look at it is I've been given an opportunity to come down and fish this lake, and I've done it, and I'm going to take it as experience and just be happy that I've managed to get out. I know there's a lot of people that can't always get out, or struggle to get out, or whatever, don't have the opportunity. So I'm just very lucky and blessed to be able to be here and have the opportunity to fish here. So that's what I'm happy with. I'm very grateful to be here. And again, I've still got a couple of hours to go. So there is a chance I might nick a last minute carp, which would be absolutely very welcome right now. So just a quick question to you guys who watch my videos regularly, and the people that don't, actually. Please subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. A lot of people watch these videos that aren't actually subscribed, so it would really help me out if you did. I just want my YouTube channel to just start. going up and taking off, to be honest. It doesn't help that I come fishing and don't catch any fish. I get that. But I'm trying, all right? I'm trying. But no, to anyone that watches my videos regularly, I just want to know, do you prefer it when I'm on day session videos, or do you prefer it when I'm on overnighters? Or do you just like both, to be honest? Because I think I prefer day sessions. Don't get me wrong, I like getting out and the whole adventure of coming out and staying overnight, and you might catch a night fish or whatever. I get that, but there's nothing like a day session, you know. I do love a day session, so I might start bringing back the day session vlogs, but that will mean that you guys will need to help me out with more venues, because I just don't, the thing is, I don't want to keep doing the same venues all the time. Like the doorstep lake, I love fishing at the doorstep lake. It's very local to me. It's got a piece of my heart, that lake. I just love going down there. Did my chase for a 20. I've had 2 of the 20s out. I want some more of the 20s out of there, but I just don't want to feel like every video is like, oh, we're back here again, oh, we're back here again, oh, we're back here again. So does it bother you if I fish the same venue? And also, like I say, I want to explore some new day session videos, and sort of some day session venues. So let me know in the comments. But it's got to be, because it's a day session, it can't be more than like an hour and a half away. Somewhere within an hour and a half of Southampton, ideally. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and like I say, please leave a like on this video. Well, this was the lead that I was using on one of my zigs before I put it on a solid bag, and you can tell I was getting a nice hard firm drop. Look at the lead, that wasn't there before when I first put it on, but you can see like where it's been, see where it's been hitting the ground. Say that was before this session, before I put it on, that was not looking like that. So there you go. At least I know that my zig was presented, because that drops on the ground like that, and that's what causes the paint to come off. So at least I know I was on a hard spot. Oh, the sun's come out again. Beautiful, and this water is gin clear. Look at this. Crazy. You can see right down to the bottom. It's like looking through glass. Beautiful. It is nearly that time. I'm all packed away. Got the rods out still. Leaving them out till last minute. But the guys opposite, I was just watching the guys opposite, and they were spotting quite far. They're fishing. Both of these two guys in these pegs opposite me here, they're fishing right out into the middle of the lake. Like, they're really pushing their wrapping distance. No problem, because I'm sort of fishing towards that direction, and they're fishing out into the middle. The only thing that I find interesting about that is that where it's warming up and the fish and the wind is pushing this way, the shallower end is sort of up this, well, I say shallower end, there's a big deep bowl up there, but I know in the summer the fish do push through up this way, and I'm just wondering, with the sun and that and the warmer weather and the wind, if the fish are following the wind and coming down this way, then surely these guys would have cut them off in the middle there. I mean, I'm at 15 wraps towards that direction, and it's probably only 30 wraps across, so I'm maybe a little bit more. So I'm near enough halfway out. So it's weird that we've not, between the three of us here, we've not trapped any fish off, or we've not, you know, none of them have slipped up. So, I mean, it always makes me feel better when other people aren't catching as well. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I want everyone to go and I want everyone to catch fish, right? But if I'm blanking and everybody else around me is catching fish, it makes it a whole lot worse. You know what I'm talking about. You've probably been there. But yeah, it's real hard fishing. It's still winter. Even though, like I say, I feel like I'm coming up with excuses. I'm trying to validate my blank. It's not looking good, guys. I'm just going to stop with the excuses. Look at these planes there, or this plane in particular, but loads of these were coming through yesterday. Luckily they stopped during the night. They're big, like cargo planes or something. They're huge. I don't know if you can quite see in there, right at the end of a tree. Can you see a bird there moving its head? He's in a nest, right in the middle of the screen, right here. You can probably hear him. But he has been going, he's basically made a nest on the end of the branches, and it's been quite interesting to watch. He's been swimming all the way across here in front of my swim, picking up loose twigs and things and bits and bobs over there, and swimming back through. Surprised he hasn't taken my lines up, to be honest, but he's been dragging twigs back and building his nest up down there. So I'm guessing he's getting ready for well, it must be that time of year, I guess. But I wouldn't know anything about that. It's definitely not my forte. Oh god. Right, I'm gonna get these rods packed down. Well, just before I go, I just wanted to show you, actually, I'll give you a quick tip. Although if you want to take tips off me when I'm blanking, that's up to you. But when you've got a swim like this and a margin like this where you can see the bottom, especially when it's gin clear, take advantage of it. So I've just reeled my rig back in, and I just want to see how that looks on the bottom. So you can always see when you cast out, if you just sort of like chuck it in like a solid bag would go in, like that, right? And now, like I said, super gin clear water, you can see where that's sitting. So you've got, look at that bit of corn just popped up there. Imagine that's a solid bag with a load of pellet around it. That is sitting perfectly, hooks presented nice. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You can barely even see the lead. You can see the stem, but how that's not done a bite, I'm happy that's been presented. Just, there's no fish that's come across it. But yeah, always use the margins, guys, as an edge to test your rigs, if you can. Well, that is it. 24 hours at B2, all done. I've always wanted to fish this lake, but unfortunately it didn't give me the memories that I hoped it would. I wasn't really in a favourable swim. I knew that it was either going to be good or tough, and it was tough. But yeah, before I go, I just want to say quickly, I am climbing Scarfall Pike, believe it or not, which, if you didn't know, is the biggest mountain in England. And I need to start losing some weight. So I've got another YouTube channel, if you didn't know, called Escape with Aaron, and on there I put some lifestyle stuff, days out, trips away, you know, bit of camping, bit of, well, I say camping, it's more like hiking. I've got a few videos of me climbing Snowdon on there and stuff. So if you do want to see stuff that isn't involving fishing, then go over and support that channel. I'd really appreciate that. But I completely get it if you're only here for the fishing. I don't know why, because I'm not catching anything, but yeah, thanks for watching this one, guys, and I'm sure I'll be back. It was a tough one. Please like, subscribe. B2. It's not happened, has it? We try again. Bish bash bosh.
Thank you for watching The South Coast Angler. Please like and subscribe.